What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Play series. So today is episode 11, and if you look behind me, we've been doing a little bit of work on our castle. So we've got these two buildings here just shelled out. We've got a little bit more work to do on them to get them finished. And then we got a couple other things as well as this main hall here. And we'll be doing that between the next couple of episodes to finish it out. But today we are not going to work on that. We've also been working downstairs, kind of all over the place. I get tired of one job, move to the next, and anyway, we've been doing a little bit of villager breeding and trading, and we got ourselves a farmer here who's got a perfect pumpkin trade and an okay melon trade. We got ourselves another farmer here, and he's not very good on either one, but I'm keeping him just for an emerald income anyway. And then yeah, we got this guy with Frostwalker too, but I think we've had him for a little bit. He doesn't have any other good books, so I don't know. I'm debating getting rid of him. And then we've got one more librarian here, as well as a brown coat, and then some kind of armor or weaponsmith or something. So, hi. Anyway, today we're not going to work on any of that. We're going to be working a little bit with villagers, but today we are going to build the carrot farm. I've been spending a little bit of time in creative, actually quite a bit of time in creative, and we've run into some issues with the farm, but we finally got one working. Just checking my AFK drops. I'll talk a little bit more about what's going on in a minute, and then the fixes for it. Right now I'm just making sure I've got everything to kind of get this farm going. We need some glowstone for lighting. Let's see, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, we're doing pretty good on glowstone dust. I'd like to build a witch hut, or a witch farm at some point if I can find a witch hut, which I don't know. I haven't explored all of this world yet. We've been doing some work at our hostile and passive mob farms, just maintenance upkeep. We've been doing some work. We got to tear down the iron golem farm and move it. We've also been doing some work down here that I don't quite want to show yet. The work that we've been doing down here is we've been filling in this lava lake. So it used to stretch kind of right here and then back that way, and we filled it in. But anyway, we have done the floor. This is why we're filling in the lava lake. We are going to expand this room here. If you've seen Hermitcraft Series 3, this is what the floor used to look like in their nether hub. But we're going to expand this over this way and maybe flip the design, because right now all the arrows are pointing to the exit, which is kind of neat. We wanted slimes to stop spawning, basically. Anyway, we've dug out this area here, kind of the same size as our wheat farm, which is a 16 by 16, and we're going to start placing down some dirt. And I'm actually going to have to make this at least a 17 by 17. You need an odd number for the water sources. The biggest you can make this farm is a 27 by 27 farm, but you need to cut off the 5 blocks in each corner. So we're not going to build it that big. We don't need anything that crazy. But anyway, guys, let me get the rest of this dirt filled in and I'll be right back. Alrighty, we finished up placing in our dirt. We got our water sources filled out. I can't remember how big this ended up being, but basically I went from the center. We counted 8 blocks this way and then placed in another water source. So we could go 4 more blocks that way, and we could go 4 more blocks this way towards the wheat farm, but like I said, I don't need anything that big. Now, to keep the villagers from falling in the water sources and then popping out and turning the tilled soil into regular dirt, we're going to use lily pads here. You can use carpets. Half slabs are not recommended. You could use trapdoors as well. Let's see, you need some dirt. Now, this middle source block is actually not going to be a block of dirt. We're going to have 2 source blocks on either side. And this block in the middle here is going to be a major focal point of the build. So in front of that, whatever you deem the front of your farm, you need an opaque block and a stone pressure plate. Now by opaque block, I mean anything that can pass a redstone signal through it, which will cause an update to the block with the torch on it. And I'll talk more about that and show you what I'm doing right there in a little bit with these carrots. Let's see, we need to start building us a chamber now around the behind this torch here for the villager to sit in. So let's see. I need some blocks. Just gonna use half slabs. All I've got is diorite and stone. So we'll place in a little circle here. Just make it to where this guy will sit in a 1x1 or a 1x2 gap here. And then we're gonna have him standing on some hoppers. So if I dig down here and dig straight this way, I should run into my hopper chain for all my farms. Now my hostile and passive mob farm hopper chain used to run through the same area, but I've rerouted around what I would call this area the farming area, so that when I'm digging out here, I don't have to worry about running into a different hopper chain and feeding like my carrots into my hostile mob drops and they're just getting voided. So let's see, if we keep digging, we should run into it here in just a second. There it is. So yeah, I know anytime I dig and I find this hopper chain here, I know that this is specifically for my actual farms. Plus you can hear the villager harvesting some wheat above our heads. So I'm going to go run the hoppers that way, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we have run our hoppers all the way up to the center point and build up our little area. And I forgot to tell you, you need a carpet here just so your villager sits at the same level as your farming villager. And then you need to build up this area in front over the water sources as well. Like so. And this forces the villager to come actually in this spot here and trade with the guy, or give him food. So, you know, you see me throwing carrots forward like that. When a villager does it now, they end up bouncing off and going every which way, even with a closed-in area like this. I was also having issues with the villager sitting up above with like a water source or a string and a carpet. Both designs for 1.8 and 1.9, and the villager was just not throwing them food. So we had to bring the villager down to the same level because I have my villager breeder and I knew they were sharing food. Obviously it's still working even after the last little update. And we found a fix for it, guys. You got to put the villager at the same level, and I will show you guys how to do, or what to do here in just a minute. Now this center block here, you need to come out 2 blocks, and on this third block you're going to have a row of lights. The lighting placement around where your villager actually sits is very important to cause that one block crap, I think I did that wrong. Anyway, the block that torch is sitting on, it's going to cause that thing to be just dark enough to where a villager passes over it, they're going to pop the carrot off, so your villager's always coming back to the center point. So these lights, like I said, are going to be separated by 5 blocks, like so, and then a light. And they're centered on the center of your farm, basically. 4, yeah, why not 5, and then a light here. Oh crap, what did I do? 2, 3, 4. So that's wrong. Need a light here. No. 2, and then 2 there, 2 there. Crap, messed that all up. But anyway, it needs to be centered with a 5x5 area in the center of your lights around the center of your farm to make this thing work the proper way. Otherwise, you can use redstone and you could have tripwire hooks with pistons and all that fun jazz. But this is just easier. It's less resource intensive as well. Come on, give me my blocks back. There we go. Now, as far as the lighting around the rest of the farm, because I built this thing a lot smaller, we don't need a ton of light, but we are going to put a bunch just for helping the crops grow. So we're going to come off the center of our farm. We're going to come, let's see, it'll be the third block up, and we're going to come 2 blocks. I did that wrong. I actually need to put the glowstone in front of that. That's alright. Let's just keep building. And all these blocks will also be separated by 5 blocks as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a light. And then we'll come off of this side here. 1, 2, set a light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a light. Like I said, I need to move this row forward. Alrighty guys, sorry about that. I was getting a little confused with counting and talking and counting and talking. Anyway, it was like I said, I needed to move this row forward 1 block, and there, we got it situated. So, we went ahead and tilled all this land to let it start getting saturated for farming. And no hostile mobs will actually spawn on this, including slime, so you can till your dirt and not have to worry about it. That's what I'm talking about. This should be dark enough to where if you plant a carrot and walk over that pressure plate, it should pop it off. So no matter where this farming villager is, he's always going to see that spot as needing planted, and it'll force him to the center of your farm. At which point he'll see the other villager, and if he's hungry, he's going to try to share some food with him. So now we need to place the ceiling in this thing, and you want to use upside down half slabs. Now the villagers will pathfind over these lily pads to get to crops, and they can't actually get stuck here if there's a full block above their head. So you don't necessarily need half slabs around the whole farm, but at least directly above and around the lily pad, you need them. So let me place in all these slabs and I will be right back. Alrighty. We went ahead and placed all the slabs and placed the glass around, except for this little area here, kind of finishing off the farm. We need to get us a villager in here, and get our farming villager in here, and then we're pretty well set up. So I don't know if it's a bug or what. I sat night after night with the 1.8 farm, the 1.9 farm, so that was Unary Bits design and Nathan Ryan's fix for it. I've used it in previous worlds. I was building it all from memory, and no crops. I'd pop open my double chest expecting to see them full of carrots, and nothing. Maybe like 3 carrots. And what'll happen is underneath that first half slab you can actually place a hopper, and every now and then when that carrot pops off it'll suck it through, and it's just 1 extra carrot. So I had to go through a grueling process to try to get this thing working, because this was the next farm I wanted to do. And we were playing and playing and playing. I actually took a 2-day break before I started recording this episode because I couldn't get it to work. So I jumped back on my world and started messing around with my villagers. And as you could hear, there was a baby villager in there. So I know they're throwing food back and forth. But the villager just wouldn't throw it to an elevated villager. Now, I took another farmer down there, went ahead and popped his inventory full of seeds, and thought, hey, maybe they'll trade back and forth, and we won't have to worry about them collecting any food. The problem with that is, you place another villager in there that is a farmer, they're going to want to harvest some crops. Oh, look at that, he's got Silk Touch for 7 emeralds. Dude, you're going in the system. So I went ahead and just said, well, can I give seeds to any old villager? Because it's not a food source, or at least it's not considered a food source. And through our testing, I'll show you guys here in just a minute what I found. We were waiting for this guy to pop down. I'm not sure where he's going to land. We've been shuffling these guys around a little bit. Oh, I heard him. Where'd you go? Yeah, there he is. Awesome. We're going to have to do some trading with him and see if he's got anything else good. Now, we just want us any old villager that's not a brown coat. A cleric, that'll work perfect. Come on, dude, you're the first contestant on the... Oh, you are annoying. Now, we're still having that issue where these guys will actually glitch through a full block still, half slabs, it doesn't matter. Get in a boat. So, I'm going to take this cleric down to the farm. But I'm going to show you guys something that I didn't know with villagers. Now, I knew that seeds weren't considered a food, and he will always be considered, or a villager that has seeds in his inventory will be considered a hungry villager until they have, I think it's their first slot is open for food. But of course we can't see their inventory, so better just to give them 8 stacks, right? I didn't know you could do this, but check it out. If you throw 8 stacks of seeds at any villager, they will pick them up. So there's 7, there's 8, you can see all the seeds are out of my inventory. You should see them pop up in my hand right now if there were any. Nothing. So I can put him at the same level as my other villager, that farming villager, and he will come over and try to trade with this, or give this guy food. And in doing so, it'll just fall into the hopper that he's standing on, and boom, we can collect it. Now, the only other issue we have is with the villagers actually throwing food. It goes everywhere. So if we have to, we'll set some mine carts with hoppers underneath. Hi. We'll set some mine carts with hoppers underneath just to grab those carrots when they pop off. It's about a 3x3 block area around the front of the farm that they go flying off to. I wish boats could go upstairs or up half slabs the way they go downstairs. Come on. There we go. Back in the boat. Well, I didn't know you could place boats on half slabs. Interesting, we're learning all kinds of things today. Well, like I said before, I spent like 4 nights in creative, AFKing while I was sleeping, to no avail. It was a pain. This was the next farm I wanted to build. Crap. Just run off, dude. Moving villagers is always stressful. And it kind of became a problem with me wanting to play my world, is because the next farm I want to build is carrot farm. We have our wheat, we have our pumpkins. I don't like really crafting melons, and carrots is always just there for a buffer to reset the trades with the farming villager, as well as I have some other plans for those carrots too. So, come on, dude. What are you looking at, man? This is your new home, bud? And I don't have any more slabs on me. And we need to cover this area. That'll work. Nothing should spawn up here with the lighting pattern I have, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. And if they do, they just won't be able to get to my villager. So we need to go ahead and cut out the rest of this area. I've been using polished andesite underneath the glass. Nobody will ever see it, but I think it looks nice. Let's place this down. We'll go ahead and put the glass across this. I need another half slab. We'll leave a 1 wide section so we can shove our next villager in here. We need to give him some carrots, and then we also need to get a filter on our system for the carrots. So let's actually go do that real quick. I was going to cut and do that up there, but I'll show you how I add a filter to my system. Oh, I can't wait for firework rockets, man. I hope we get them in the next episode. 4J Studios did tweet out when someone asked about the upcoming update, and they said nothing concrete with a winky face, so maybe we'll be getting some concrete blocks. That'll be awesome. Let's see, I need some comparators, repeaters, some torches, some dust, and some blocks. I talked about this when I actually built this system. 5th block in. It's very easy to add filters throughout this system, so I can have this thing running, it'll void items as needed, and then eventually we'll fill this thing up with potatoes, sugarcane, probably slime, cactus, I don't know, any and all farms. Let's see. The first thing to do is add your bottom repeater. This is Impulse SV's overflow protection design for an item sorting system. Then we'll add our torch on the front here. We're kind of building it a little backwards. And we just need to place in the comparator and a hopper. So the comparator goes here, like so. And then we need a block here so we can get further, and a hopper like so. Some redstone dust like this, and that is the redstone behind it. Crap, it's already filling up with melons. We'll have to clear out that chest in a minute. Let's see, no, let's just use sandstone. So those are going to be our filter blocks. We didn't actually make filter blocks. We'll chuck in 19 carrots, and then as that thing fills up, it'll go ahead and crap. It'll go ahead and start sorting the items. Let me get this redstone fixed, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we fixed up the sorting system. We got our villager down here. We threw him a stack of carrots. And I can't forget to get rid of that torch. There he goes. So he's going to start planting the crops. I found that in the creative world it was easier if he planted all the crops. I went through and planted them, and it was just a pain. But he'll start planting them and harvesting them and trading them with this guy in the center here, and we'll start collecting us up some carrots. So that's it, guys. That's the carrot farm there. It was, it seems like an easy fix, but as I was spending night after night trying to fix this, it was a pain. So for now, this is an easy fix for this system. Get you a carrot farm going. With our villagers throwing carrots every which way, it's still not perfect, but we got us a couple of farms anyway. But let's grab a screenshot. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did. As always, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching guys. This is Zap, and I'm out.